All right, well, disillusioned and burnt out by her job, our next guest escaped city life to live in the bush. Claire Dunn spent 12 months in the wild, living without matches, hunting for food and eating roadkill. Oh. Claire joins us on the couch now. Claire, welcome to Studio 10. You were in a pretty high-stress job.
Yes.
What exactly made you go, all right, time to get out?
Well, I think I was equally running for my life as well as just compelled towards this idea of living in the forest for a year. So I was working as a campaigner for the Wilderness Society, so high-pressure political role, and I was just really burnt out, exhausted and getting disillusioned by the job I was doing, just feeling like what was missing was this connection to the earth, and I was feeling that I was disconnected from the places that I was trying to save. And I started doing these short courses in wilderness survival skills and nature awareness, and something in me just went, that is what I need. And when I heard about the year-long program, I just knew I was going to do it. Something just said, I have to do this.
So did you have to give your matches away, though, darling? You could have just cheated on that.
Well, see, I was wanting something really, you know, real and raw and gritty, and having to light fires just by rubbing sticks together for the whole year was one way that I was going to make sure
You mean it works?
It does.
It does work with a lot of elbow grease and some serious blisters.
Well, what did you get out of it, though? I mean, there you are. I read your story in one of the weekend magazines, and I'm thinking, my God, how did you do it? How did you survive? I mean, what did you miss?
You know, I didn't miss nearly as much as I thought I would. At times, a hot shower and matches, sometimes. But really, I just wanted to immerse myself, and I loved the experience of just spending 4 seasons in the bush, witnessing the changing seasons and also the changes in myself.
What happened when it rained? You couldn't rub the sticks together then?
Well, no, I had to. Otherwise, I'd be very cold and hungry.
In a cave?
I had my shelter. I had to build a shelter out of just natural materials to keep me dry and warm.
Gosh.
And luckily, it did. It was the most gorgeous little cocoon.
So
my first home.
Were you allowed to have any sort of mod cons? Like, you're sort of wearing clothes there.
Yeah, it wasn't full survivor.
That's a bit soft, isn't it?
Well, I did make some hide clothing, but it was never meant to be survivor. It was more about learning these skills, and then it was kind of a choose your own adventure. How much, you know, you wanted to really.
Because you had food from supermarkets and things.
Every month we'd go in and get bulk food, you know, rice
God,
and lentils. Oh, go on then.
No, he's kidding.
So, Claire, how did you feel when you came out of this experience?
Yeah.
Was it like gratefully running back to your apartment and back on mod cons, or was it a process of transition?
It was a process of transition. I felt ready for it. At the end of the year, I was kind of starting to crave a good coffee and the weekend paper. But then when I got out, I really did struggle, you know. I'd done so much kind of inner change during that year that fitting back into my old life was really difficult, and I felt quite lost for a while.
Could you not move to the country and live in the country?
Well, yes,
like
you could. Did you?
Yeah, I lived for 30 years and just looking at... And I understand what you say about that connection with trees and everything and the observing, because I don't think people do it in the city.
No, and I don't think you have to go and do what I did. I think it's just important to do something that connects you to the natural world, because it's our life support systems.
Yeah.
It's, you know.
Are you back working for the Wilderness Society?
No, I didn't want to go back to that work. I'm doing some freelance writing and offering some workshops in these kinds of skills, and really the writing of the book took 3 years, and I poured out my soul into that book because I felt like others would like to hear about this journey I went on.
I bet that first hot shower was just heaven, Claire. It's an amazing story, I bet you do. You can read Claire's amazing story in this book, My Year Without Mattress. It is a fantastic read. And you're all getting a copy of it, guys.
It is amazing, isn't it? Because, you know, if you saw a sort of a wild thatched hut like that in Sydney, there'd be a real estate agent sitting next to it going, that'll be 1.5 million.
I've worked out how you could have had a hot shower.
How?
If you had your hide, you could have put that in a tree, and when it rained, it would have come out there.
Yes.
And you could have had...
Heated it, though. How would I have heated it?
I'll work on that.
And the water pressure mightn't have been the best.
Not so good.
It's an amazing story. What an adventure. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.